Welcome students to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Anuradha Sovni. I am Professor and Head Department of Psychology at SNDT Women's University. So I am going to introduce you today to a very interesting aspect of adult education. I am going to try and tell you how psychology has a very important role to play in this context. What is the relevance? So by the end of this session, students would understand how we look at psychology in this context and bring in the concepts of psychology into adult education. It becomes very important in adult education to explore not only what it is that we are supposed to teach our students, but also whom we are teaching. Who are these people at the other end when I am actually talking to and teaching and addressing as a class? So very interestingly, we have this anecdote where this teacher was told that she has to teach math to Mahesh. And of course, everybody said, you must know all about math to be able to teach Mahesh math. And she said, yes, that is true. But more importantly, I must know all about Mahesh so that I know how to teach him, what to teach him, when to teach him. So this is really what I am going to bring to you. Of course, we will have other topics along the way which will bring the same point back, but this is just a brief introduction. Let us define adult learning first and understand it in the context of psychology. What happens here when you are trying to teach adults is that they are likely to kind of approach learning in a slightly different way from children. So we call it andragogy, not pedagogy. Pedagogy is when you are teaching children. The approach in adults is more like a self-driven kind of approach. They want to sometimes learn in distance mode because they are busy doing other things. They are busy trying to do their own work and also mix it up with their learning schedules. So when an adult is trying to approach learning or trying to learn a new course, it is important for him or her to be able to know what it is that they are going to learn, how they are going to apply it to their daily lives. In children, you don't have this kind of approach. They're just learning whatever their teachers are teaching them. They don't really have that practical kind of approach to the learning that is happening in the classroom. So in adult education, we find that they might actually question, they might actually ask why they are learning what they are learning, why this material is important for them before they actually begin to study it. They will be kind of looking upon a kind of introductory concept initially to link it to their real lives, to underline the importance of these concepts in their day-to-day lives. So as I said, basically, adults will look for practical examples from real life to connect it with what they are learning to be able to understand. Adults come from a background of experience when they are entering the learning program. They want to kind of get rewarded for whatever it is they are learning. So we need behavioral interventions. They have a certain self-image, a certain self-concept which they are carrying to the class when they are learning. When adults learn, they are also learning from the kind of cognitive changes that are happening to them at that time. So, as I said, they are weaving in the life experiences that they have had till then, trying to contribute or put in from those life experiences into their learning. For most adults, their learning needs to be problem-based. They need to be able to answer a question. What am I going to be able to do with this learning? They are of course learning for the sheer pleasure of learning. I know many adults who get into a learning program just simply because they enjoy it. Nevertheless, they will be asking this question, why am I learning what I'm learning? Where am I going to be able to apply it? How is it going to help me? In what way will it make my life different from before? So these are some of the little points that we must keep in mind when we use the psychology of adult education. Finally, most adults learn completely by choice. Nobody is forcing them to do this training program. In children's cases, very often they are being sent to school, but in adult learning, nobody is sending them anywhere. So they do require encouragement, they do require rewards from time to time to be able to do things like complete assignments and so on. So they need these little reinforcers, these little rewards around the way as they learn. It's nice for them to feel encouraged, so that's an intrinsic part of what we have to do when we teach adults. So to sum up, let us say that when we are trying to train adults, we have to go beyond just the theory, okay, because they are at a certain age, they have certain life experience, and so they have to weave theory with practical, connect it up with real life. It must come across as interesting, as useful, as connected through examples with their real life. So friends, now what we are going to do is look at some very important psychological factors which play a role in adult learning. Intelligence is one such factor. See, this is true even in the classroom for children. Some children will perform better than others, some children may be brighter than others. The same is true for adults. So naturally we are going to expect this kind of normal curve, this kind of differential performance, differential rate of learning. So brighter adults learning faster, less bright adults taking a little longer, which is perfectly normal. A lot will also depend on how much time they devote to the learning process. Do they read outside the classroom? Do they rehearse? What is that we have taught them? So that is also an important factor. Another crucial psychological factor is the memory factor. Now keep in mind that these are older learners. Children, when they are in school, very often learn by rote, and they are quite good at this. They can just reproduce what it is that they have been taught in class. They can learn time tables, they can learn so many things. But in adult learning, the memory process is a little different. They may, for example, do better by, say, recognition rather than recall. They may not be able to recall by rote a lot of things. Learning by heart may not help them. Further, they may also be able to make associations, form associations, use mnemonics, use examples from their past, from their real life to actually connect up what it is that they are learning and then render it meaningful for themselves. So intelligence and memory are two very important factors. The third very important factor is motivation. What is the motive behind learning? Friends, we are going to have another whole session on this very soon. But let me tell you that when adults are learning something, they want to know how it's going to make a change in their lives. So we have a lot of psychological theories of motivation. I'm going to quickly walk you through them and trying to show you how actually you can motivate your adult learners better. Teach them in such a way that they feel like rehearsing, they feel like participating, organizing the material nicely, hierarchically, and so on. When we look at theories of motivation which are there behind the entire motivation process in adult learners, we actually realize that there are hierarchies. Learning hierarchies are also a kind of is a way in which you organize the learning material. Adult learners would need to organize their material, they would need to form these hierarchies, they would need to understand what material has to be learned first and what material has to be learned later, and then memorize it if required, if there is any memorization required. They may also try in some way to kind of connect it, like I told you earlier, with familiar material, familiar information. So they will try and build familiar as a base, unfamiliar as a kind of layer over it. Learning hierarchies and the manner of organization of learnt material is a factor to look at. Adult learners would ensure that new learning is built upon what they have learnt previously learned material, to fix it in their minds. So they don't have to rely on memory a great deal. So organizing this material, because they are a little disadvantage in terms of memory due to their age. So keep in mind that we need to help them. They may be very kind of accomplished, bright people, they have learnt the earlier material well, but we must organize it for them. That's something that we, for example, if they are learning about, say, agricultural reforms in a particular geographical area, they might link that information with their previous experience with that locality, maps they have in their mind, understanding of the area. So this will make their learning better in terms of agricultural practices they have seen, experiencing, going back and remembering what their friends have told them, and so on. So they, as I said, will build upon their earlier learning. They will therefore try to be able to make the material more meaningful for themselves. Another factor to look at and always keep in mind, friends, is time management. For adult learning, they have multiple pressing demands on their time. They may be pulling out personal time in order to study, unlike children who have dedicated time for school, for homework. So in pedagogy, that does not become a big issue. With adults, they have many pressing responsibilities, paying bills, correspondence, emails, multiple jobs at their workplace, maybe in some cases looking after adults, older adults in the family. So lots of commitments, lots of interactions that are happening in their day-to-day lives, and they are fitting in the learning along with all this. So because of this, there is an element where you also have to train and teach in terms of how to maintain, how to manage their time, how to maintain their schedule. They might like more flexible schedules, times where they can fit in other work in the middle. Talking about commitment, this is a very important factor to look at, because scholars have said that mature adults, mature students are very committed to the learning program. Younger students can sometimes be, a little casual about it. But adults are very engaged, they are very committed, but you have to keep them maintaining this commitment. It's very important again that their own observations, their own expertise is allowed to be melded with what it is that we are teaching them. The adult learner would value an opportunity to get an education, something that they might have missed at an earlier part in their lives. So this opportunity is very precious to them. The possibility of kind of resenting work given to them just to keep them busy is always there. So what we call busy work, With kids you do that sometimes. You say, hey, write this again, do that again. But adults don't like this. For them, it is very important that little time they are pulling out. So let us not try to keep them busy with more and more things which they really don't need to do. Let it be sticking to the course material that they have to master. So that's a factor that I would want to underline. They are putting in an effort to do this learning, so it must appear relevant for them. When an adult learner is learning, they may want to make a kind of special effort. They want to go out there and they also want to involve other people, other students being taught. So they appreciate that kind of effort being done by us. They may also kind of be interested in trying to master, the original material which they have, link it with their activity, and they would need to specifically be told what exactly they have to do, what is the task that is assigned to them. So a good example would be like when you're trying to look at how exactly you can do this, would be to distinguish between information that they absolutely must know, information that they need to know, and information that would be nice to know. Like you can tell them this as an aside, that this is just something more, if you can remember it, try to keep in mind. One more characteristic of adult learners which you must remember, friends, is that they will try to collect references to the management of their daily work. They will try and, memorize only absolutely what is necessary, but they would want to make that connection. But along the way, I'll tell you what can happen. Life events can intrude with the adult learner. It's important to acknowledge that there are many more events happening developmentally in the life of the adult learner which can intrude in their learning, which can interrupt their learning. They may fall ill, there may be somebody in the family that can fall ill, this can disturb their learning. There may be financial crunches and crises that may arise. There may be other tasks that they have to carry out which suddenly kind of push their way into their learning patterns, their learning lives. So developmentally they are different, their circumstances are different from the child in a pedagogical setting. I have even come across situations where there may be death of a spouse, there may be a divorce, there may be retirement which can intrude into this learning process, and we have to make space for this. We cannot expect them to continue at that same course of learning, the same graph of learning, in spite of these events which are intruding. Similarly, the work status of the adult learner can also change. They might lose a job, they might get a new responsibility, they might get a promotion, they may have to relocate, they may actually have to travel to go somewhere else for their work. Another thing that I want to raise your attention to is the cognitive and personality factors in adult learning. Self-direction is a key word in adult learning. They have a very clear reason in their minds why they are pursuing this course. So they are very self-directed. They don't like to be driven in this direction or the other. It's their driving force which is actually pushing them. They know their own capacity, they know their own memory, they know their own intelligence. So please keep in mind this self-direction factor. They are not being asked to learn, they are choosing to learn. They are determining their own schedules. They are planning their own schedules for themselves. So the self-direction part, the self, which is an important psychological concept, is a kind of important factor here. It's a hallmark of humanistic psychology. This stream of psychology puts self in the center. All the theories of humanistic psychology link the factor of self to the learner. So that is what you will have to do. You will have to keep in mind they have their own self-esteem, they have their own self-concept, they see themselves as instrumental in learning whatever that they have to learn, and therefore they determine their own self-direction. Going back to what I said about motivators earlier in my lecture, the motivational theory of humanistic psychology, a very important proponent of this theory who was Maslow, gave us a kind of hierarchy, told us about how people proceed from one to the next and so on. So we've also already talked of behavioral applications where we have said that we might have to reinforce them, reward them, punish them. We have said how there may be multiple distractors in their lives, how we need to keep all these factors in mind. So behavioral management techniques become very important. We are going to have lectures on classical conditioning in this program, how we kind of link two events and make one reinforcing for the adult. We're also going to have lectures on operant conditioning, giving different kinds of reward schedules and so on. But as I was saying about Maslow, self-actualization is what Maslow put at the highest level of his hierarchy of needs. In the written material that you will have to read later, you will actually see this entire hierarchy in a very interesting pyramid kind of form which is created for you. So at the base are the physiological needs, hunger and so on. Then you have the safety needs. Then you have the belongingness and love needs. Then you have the self-esteem, and finally at the peak you have self-actualization. And friends, adult learners are learning to self-actualize. They are learning to achieve their goals. So keep this in mind. Let us look a little bit at the type of thinking of adult learners. You have two kinds of thinking, divergent thinking and convergent thinking. Divergent thinking is thinking out of the box, thinking creatively. And sometimes adult learners use these patterns. It might have got a little rusty for them along the way, but they use divergent learning patterns. Convergent learning is very deductive, very logical. In school, you're used to doing this kind of learning. You're learning logic, you're learning math. So adult learners will also harness this thinking pattern equally along with divergent in order to be able to process the information they are getting and link it to their past experiences to achieve maximum success. So keep this in mind that divergent and convergent learning patterns are used. Finally, I also want to tell you that practical and result-oriented learners are a joy to teach. Adult learners actually want to see immediately, what are the rewards? Immediately, how is it applicable? They want a kind of linkage practically with what they are learning today theoretically and how they are going to take it out there into the real world, using their own strengths, using what they know about themselves as something they are good at. So they would choose practical knowledge over theoretical knowledge every time. They will choose to improve their skills, facilitate their work. They will try and find out how they get that little edge over others in the course that they are learning and take it back to their workplace or to their family and all those things. So skill-based learning in today's life, that's a big buzzword. That is something that we must introduce. The content needs to be geared to utilitarian rather than purely theoretical. One little note of caution. Adult learners sometimes can be a little less open-minded. I'm not trying to criticize them, but it is true, and theory has shown us that they may be a little resistant to new practices, new techniques over the years. They have their own established ways. So teachers will try to introduce new methods, but they might find them a little less accepting. So keep a little space in your mind for that. On occasion, it may be observed that their life experiences may actually have rendered them, a little rigid, because they've had some bad experiences, they've kind of matured over time, they've experienced different things along the way, and they're kind of a little cynical, like they're trying to think, will this really be useful to me? Of course, they're very confident in how they're applying what the knowledge is that they are learning. So keep this in mind, that don't be angry if they are a little rigid. They're using it for their own, they have their own reasons, they have their own particular methods, how they are using, how they are learning, and how specific material needs to be mastered by them. A big factor differential between pedagogy and andragogy is the speed of learning. The way they process information, the speed at which adults process information may be a little slower. They may take a little time because of advancing age. Of course, it will depend on how old they are. In adult learners, you can have younger adults and older adults. So depth of learning is good, understanding is good, application is good, but speed of learning may be a little impacted. And that is another factor to keep in mind, not to get impatient. They will pace themselves. They will also try to, as I said earlier, integrate, so depth and meaning will be there in finally what they learn, and that is what matters. Personal experience is the teacher of the adult learner. They are always trying to weave what they are learning with the personal experience that they have had in their lives. So life's lessons are getting woven into what they are learning to validate everything they are learning at present. So they are looking at it through the lens of their prior learning. They will try to adapt to the new activities that you are trying to give them, but they will also link it with their past experiences. They will build upon their past experiences. So the outcomes and conclusions that they actually draw from the learning that happens in the adult learning lesson may be different for different people, but useful to them. Learning in adulthood, because we are looking at the motivational factor again and again, as I said, is usually voluntary. Adult has chosen to come in. By personal choice, they have come in to this particular teaching program. Nobody has forced them to do it. So there is no external imposition. The motivation is internal, the motivation force is coming from within. And this has to be sort of ignited. The teacher has to keep in mind that they have to capitalize upon that inner drive, that inner impetus of the adult learner, the driving force that is actually going to take them to their goal. By making the learning material more and more meaningful, more and more thought-provoking, stimulating the adult learner's mind with multiple examples, linking it to what they have just gone through, to current events happening in their lives, connecting it to conventional wisdom, connecting it to events happening around, maybe news events, domains of interest, discussions happening with the adult learners. Never forget that adult learners have very high expectations. They have taken time out from their regular lives and they have entered this very demanding program where they have to bring in all that strength, all that energy, all that motivation to learn something new. So their expectation is very high. They are very demanding because they want more and more. They want to ensure that the content and the skills which they are expecting to learn in this course are actually good. They are expecting to use them in their professional and their personal lives. So they expect to see quick results. They don't have much patience. They don't want to wait for long drawn out learning curves, long drawn out lectures. No, they are actually looking for quick results. So we have to actually lay them out for them like this. A young learner would perhaps be okay with exams at the end of the year, they would be able to adapt to this, but not so much the adult learner. Multi-level responsibilities of the adult learner. I've mentioned this before, but I'm just kind of stressing upon it, that there are many aspects that they're looking at simultaneously. At the same time, they're looking at so many angles of their lives. So they have to accommodate this new learning effort into that tight program that they already have in their lives. Typically, for children, they would kind of link it up, go to school, deal with their lectures and so on. But the adult learner will have very little quality time left for themselves at the end of their working day. And they are pulling out this quality time, they are pulling out this time out of their already very busy lives. Right? So keep in mind that this prioritizing they have to have the freedom to do. They will create their own schedules. They will tentatively plan to, also keep time for other precious things that they have to do with their children, with their families, for their own recreation and so on. So to summarize, we just want to say in this entire session that the adult learner is fairly mature, very self-motivated. There is a drive to indulge in the learning process. They have very clear expectations from the program. Their age can be a little against them at times, but they are largely very confident, very focused. They know what it is that they are capable of. They can make decisions. They can weave in their life experiences. They are very practical. They know where they are going to apply this information. They have got into it voluntarily. They have several different things, several different jobs which they have to accomplish. So, a lot of time management, a lot of balancing out of all these things they have to do. They will be interested in learning, but they may be a little resistant to practices which they are not very kind of used to. You'll need to convince them to do it. Their experiences will have to be woven into the program in order to make it richer for them. They will also want to know at the end of the program in what way, what are the pluses and minuses, in what way they are going to gain, in what way they are going to be able to apply, and what are their own pluses and minuses, right? As I said earlier, they may be a little slower, they may be a little difficult, find it a little difficult to recall. So as they pick up new learning, they will want to understand all these aspects of themselves. So I hope I've been able to outline for you what are the different factors in adult learning, particularly from the psychological lens, since you're going to have a series of lectures connected to psychology. I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you very much and looking forward to interacting with all of you more. This is Dr. Anuradha Sovni from SNDT Women's University, Department of Psychology. I hope you enjoyed the lecture.